Hello, and welcome back to Houselights, your one-stop shop for everything you need to hear about this week in the world of entertainment. My name is Nass, and we are back for another semester of Houselights. Yay! And we are back with a camera, so everyone's going to be able to see me and my guests' beautiful face all the time. And by the way, it's just me, your founding father, back for Houselights this semester. And I already broke a microphone before we started, so that's how it's going. But yeah, I want to introduce my first guest of 2024, Miss Gabi Yeary. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
So tell me what you do at the State News, Miss Gabi.
I'm a regional reporter with the State News on the regional desk. I do a lot of human interest stories. I do a lot of articles.
So you are with your old boss. Did you like your job when you had your old boss?
Oh,
your old boss being me?
Yeah, it was a job, you know. It paid the bills. No, I loved it.
Aw, that's amazing. Well, for the first episode of 2024, I wanted to get into all things girly pop. And I was like, who's the most girly pop girly that I know? Who's wearing a beautiful outfit, by the way. I just wanted to say that because she's just so cool.
Thank you.
And she like dressed up for the first like video of,
I had to dress up
of Houselights, and I'm like, honestly, I forgot that we had cameras in today. And like you can tell. Like it's fine though, but whatever. But I wanted to talk about all things girly pop, but I couldn't like let it just be like just a normal girly pop episode. I want to talk about the nitty-gritty of being a girl, I want to talk about two things: female rage and girl code. Who doesn't love that? So I want to talk about how female rage is kind of a new genre, I feel like. Don't you think so? I feel like it's like sort of just like popping up on the scene, like the term female rage.
Yeah, I feel like I've only seen the term recently, and I see it in, this is very specific, a lot of like little TikTok edits.
Yes.
Like quick little clips where it's like, oh, female rage, and then it's like that screaming audio in the background.
Oh yeah, and it's like Pearl, and then like there's the thing from like Bottoms, like somebody beating someone up, and it's just a bunch of clips. Maybe like Candace Everdeen, Miss Catching Fire.
Yes.
When she's like, okay, so we're on the same TikTok.
Yeah.
So we are seeing the same TikToks, but that's the female experience. That's the girl collective.
That's it.
That's it. And so I just feel like I wanted to talk about it because I feel a lot of female rage all the time. Where do you think it originates from, Gabi?
Okay. Let me get into this.
I feel like going back to our ancestors.
I feel like a lot of it is men.
like obviously. Obviously men.
Yeah, I think it's really crazy, but it might be men.
Well, on my notes, I just wrote down, why does male rage just not hit like that? like male rage is just different. Like, I feel like I'm super cool. So I feel like I'm super cool because I started boxing this year. That was like one of my New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. Was
to start like going to the gym and specifically like boxing instead. Because I'm not a gym girly. I don't like to like run. I don't like going on runs. I don't like cardio. I like dance workouts. I'll say that. Like that's fun. Like my little Mad Fit 15-minute One Direction dance workout. Like that'll do it for me.
Yeah.
And like my mom was a Zumba teacher. So, I feel like that makes sense.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Christine.
Christine. All I dug into was the Zumba on the Wii.
Yo,
that was it for me. The
that's
Zumba.
Sick. Talking about Wii Fitness, let's talk about that little board.
The board.
Like gaslit us.
That
as
caused
little
so
girls.
much insecurity.
Yes.
That was literally...
It was like Wii Fit, you're age 66.
Yes.
And you don't... And you should probably go to the hospital for cardiac arrest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they were saying when I couldn't hit a virtual tennis ball.
I would hit the slopes on the little ski one, and I wouldn't be able to do it, and then they would be like, you suck, you need to go to the hospital, you need to quit, you're out.
But yeah, so I'm not into that stuff. Because that's how I feel every time I go to the gym. So I was like, I'm gonna start doing something that will not, get me, get a sweat rolling, but also get my anger out.
Yeah.
And that's, like, what I was doing with, like, boxing. Because it's so fun. It actually is so fun. I feel bad. I keep, like, looking into the camera. I feel like now there's, like, this new audience now. And I'm like, okay, I need to check my angle. And then back to the conversation. But, yeah, so I really enjoy boxing. But it's been super fun. But I feel like with, like, men boxing, like, it's not giving.
With men boxing, it's so, like, aggressive.
And that's why I haven't been that many times to I Am West yet. Because I'm, like, scared of, like, a really, like, angry dude, like, going at the boxing thing. And then I'm just standing there, like, waiting for him to be done. Like, that makes me nervous.
I just don't like going to, like, any of the IMs on campus because I feel like it's always, like, whatever I do, whether it's cardio, whether it's any sort of machine or free weights, I feel like I'm being judged by a man. Yeah. Because, like, I'm on the side of TikTok where it's, like, the workout girlies, and then the guys in the comments are, like, wrong form, loser. Like, okay.
Oh, God, that's awful. That makes me sick to my stomach. Wrong form, loser. No, that's terrifying.
So I just can't. Like, I'm so afraid of how a man's going to perceive my workout.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's, like... And I've had, like, guys, like, stand behind me and, like, tap my shoulder and be like, so are you, like, going to be done sitting on this machine? And I'm like, I will be done when I please.
Exactly.
Actually. I'm going to be done when I please. But, yeah. And that was female rage. This is just going to be us getting into little tangents about, like different ways just that we get angry.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just feel like, yeah, why do you think it's so easy to resonate with, like, watching, like, another girly get angry?
Because I feel like, okay, in comparison to men, when men get angry, it's so, like, individualized. Like, I feel like if they get mad at their wives, the other guy's just like, yeah, okay, get mad at your wife. Like, whereas when it's with girls, we're like, oh my God, yeah, I feel the same thing. Like, my boyfriend's annoying or this guy's annoying to me. Like, that sort of thing.
And me and Miss Claire Donahoe, you know, the beautiful copy editor that we have in St. News, we're in the same sex, gender, and sexuality class, which is really cool of us. And we were driving home and we were, like, having a conversation because we felt like our sex, gender, and sexuality class wasn't, like, I don't know, we kind of feel like it's a 2008 version of a sex, gender, and sexuality class where it's like, oh, like, women empowerment, and, like, women shouldn't wear that much makeup because it's, like, not, and it's, like, well, sometimes, like, I just want to look pretty sort of thing. It's, like, it's almost, like, so far that it's, like, you're missing the point.
No.
You know? Like,
yeah, I get that.
I don't know. And so we were having a conversation. We were having our own sex, gender, and sexuality class in the car afterwards. And we were like, I feel like women, it's easy, because I told her the idea that I had for the podcast. And she was like, women, it's just easier to resonate with female rage because we go to community for it. Because we like to gossip and stuff. And we, like, women have this inherent sense of community because, like, we weren't able to have that, like, our ancestors weren't able to have that, so now we've, like, you know, striven, that's not a word, we have strove, we strive for a, just, like, for a community. I feel like men don't have that community. I feel like it's harder, at least, for men to have that community.
Do you think it's women. Like, good or bad for us to have that community?
I think it's great because, like, that's what Claire was saying. She was like, it's just hard for it. I think we were saying, like, it might be harder for men to, like, open up about their emotions, and, like, while women are sometimes seen as more, like, dramatic, it's because we have the girly pops to reach out to and, like, vent to and be angry to. And, like, sometimes I don't feel like men have that same, like, sense of community to be able to let those emotions out. And I feel bad. Yeah. Like, the patriarchy screwed them over, too. Yeah. But, like, it's hard to feel bad for them.
I feel bad, and then I get filled with rage. I do feel bad
because it's like they're not able to, like, gossip and vent and, like, have that female experience. Yeah. Because I'm thinking about, so on my thing, because obviously this is an entertainment podcast, right? Like, sometimes I just forget that. Sometimes I just start talking and I'm like, this is just me talking now. This is my podcast. But I wrote down, like, some movies of, like, female rage. And the one scene that I was thinking was, like, in when she's like crying on the floor, and all the other girlies like come around and start crying with her, and like it's like scary, like it's like a horror movie, but like felt like
I want to be heaving with you as we're sobbing on the floor together. Give me that.
I feel like I've had that experience with my roommates. Not to that extent, like when we're wearing like all white, like ritualistic like dresses, like from Sweden. Yeah. But like I've come home and just been like, you won't believe what just happened, and then you just start crying, and then your roommate's like, oh, and then starts hugging you, and then we put on like Mitski, and then we grab ice cream, and then we watch Pearl. I'm sorry, I'm actually reliving the exact thing that happened like 3 weeks ago. So that's what I'm picturing. I was like, this sounds oddly specific. It's because it happened, actually. So
no, I get that. So my roommates and I aren't super close, but there was one time I was so upset with my classes, and I just came into the dorm. I slammed that door shut, and I was like racking my body with sobs, and my phone was dead, so I couldn't text my mom, which is my go-to. God. And then my roommate just walks out of the bathroom, and she's like, it's all right, and she gives me a hug, and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's so sweet.
I feel like it's just such a, like, even if you don't get along, it's just like a thing every woman understands.
Yeah, no, like my freshman year roommate, like we were not super close by the end of the year, but like if we had to vent, we just vented. Yeah. You know, like, because you're in that room with somebody 24/7. And, like, if you guys don't talk, you're going to go crazy. Okay. So, you know how I said that the microphone broke at the start of the episode? It broke. I thought I fixed it, and I didn't. So, anyways, we're just going to keep moving on. And, like, you see, I could be, like, super mad about this, and it would be, like, a community. Yeah. And see, I could get, like, really mad about this, but it'd be, like, understood.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll just get mad with you.
Exactly. But we're reeling it in. I just thought I'd just go the extra mile now. Well, here's the thing. I made... it's not a New Year's resolution, but a new podcast year resolution that I wasn't going to manhandle the mic as much because I am being recorded and I'm insecure about how I look on camera if I'm, like, grabbing the microphone in passion. But, like, now, like, it's sort of been ruined because it just
I think
broke.
This just perfectly describes female rage. The grip that you have on the mic.
It's white knuckle. Zoom in on this. Like,
that's female rage.
It's it's because, like, it all happens. me and my friend from high school, we just always would look at each other and we coined this phrase of, like, it just all happens. Who's all? What's it? I don't know, but it happens. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. When you're a girl, it just all happens. Yeah. And you have to put up with it, like this microphone falling in the middle of recording. You know, that's just part of it and it happening.
It all happens.
As you can tell, we are recording Houselights at a later time as well. And so I started to lose a little bit. But, you know, we're going to get through it.
We're going to do great.
Anyways, any other more thesis ideas on female rage that you had to share before I get into the movies that I love so much that are female rage? I also have music. But you have to wait. Wait, I want to talk about your thing first. Oh! Your English class. Because I feel like that exemplifies. Yeah. Well, say what you're reading first.
Okay. This will give it. It's The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. So we're already off to a great start here. And it's like, it's a required course for English majors. And so it's like maybe 30 kids in the class. And like I'd say like 25 of them are like girls or female presenting. And then like maybe 4 or 5 are guys. And I swear every time like we have like 10, 15-minute discussions on the chapters that we read. And every single time, it's like, okay, who wants to go next? And the teachers are female. And she'll be like, okay, like, what do you guys think about this? And then suddenly all of the men will shoot their hands up and they're like, hey, let me speak. And then when they speak, it's like some of them have very great thoughts. And I'm like, good job. I'm very proud of you.
Jack Williams.
Jack Williams.
I was like, should we address that he's in this class? Jack Williams has great thoughts. But
he's got fantastic thoughts. But then the other guys are just like, they'll like, I pointed out one time in the book, Esther Greenwood, the main character, talks about how hot baths cure everything. Like, if she's ever upset, she just goes and takes a hot bath and she feels better. And some guys are like, no, that's just not realistic. Like, no girl feels like that. And I'm like, what? Who are you to tell a girl how she feels about hot baths of all things?
Such a basic thing to be like, man, it's just not realistic. Duh.
Like,
obviously,
what?
like, yeah, but who are you to say that? I'm just
Exactly.
a girl. What if
I'm just...
And I wanted to talk about this term, too, because I was walking home from my sex, gender, and sexuality class earlier, and I was like, the term, I'm just a girl, how do we feel about that? Like, do we feel like it is reductionist? Because, like, there's some people that are like, I'm just a girl, like, of course I'm gonna get a little treat. And, like, I do feel that. But then there's other people that I've seen on TikTok recently being like, oh, it's just a way to, you know, support consumerism without, you know, consequences because you're just a girl and it's reductionist to the female experience. But, like, I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like it's like, okay, well, that's a tricky one.
Right?
Because I never even thought about it from that other perspective, like the consumerist perspective. I feel like it's, in my mind, when I hear I'm just a girl, because I say that term all the time.
We resonate with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's just, like, I feel so often that in our lives we overcomplicate simple things. Like, especially with women, there's obviously, like, a lot of issues with eating and, like, there's so many, like, dietary, like, restrictions that we see pushed onto us and stuff. So when it's like, oh, I just need a simple little treat, like, I'm happy that girls are feeling that it's okay to go and get a treat.
Well, and what I like about I'm Just a Girl is, you know, there was a oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I did not mean that. That was not. It sounded like I was going to decrease something afterwards. I wasn't. But I feel like with I'm Just a Girl, it's nice because I feel like we grew up in a time where it was like, I'm not like other girls.
Yes.
And I feel like we were all pretty victim to that. I feel like, oh, I have to be different from other people. But, like, I feel like when we reclaim, like, oh, I'm just a girl, like, I'm with every other girl. Like, I am experiencing the same thing. Like, we are all, like, connected through this, you know, experience of being a girly pop. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah, like, I feel like lately, like, in the past few years, it's been, like, even going back to 2020, I think it was, when it was, like, Visco girl versus indie girl, and it's all like, oh, like, I'm not like that. Like, I'm so much... I feel like lately, with I'm Just a Girl, we've been seeing, like, a lot more, like... I feel like it's just now becoming a true girlhood. Yeah. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm fine, like, you know, wearing, like, that clean girl aesthetic or that kind of thing. Like, I feel like there isn't as much controversy with how you are dressing or making yourself
right, and even if you are categorizing yourself into a certain subgenre of a person, like indie girl, clean girl aesthetic, I think clean girl aesthetic has its own issues. I feel like the consumerism part of it, but I feel like now, like all the subgenres are supporting each other. Yeah, like even if there is that subgenre, like I feel like there's more like support. There's at least in like the things that I see. I'm not super connected to some of the subgenres that might not be as like, and not to be like, oh, I'm just super kind, but like no, like I'm not super close to like subgenres that might be a little bit more, you know, pushing, you know,
we're like coming from our own perspective, right?
We're just girls coming from our own perspectives.
We're just girls at the end of the day, like.
But I know, I thought that, I kind of want to get your opinion on what you thought about the negative side of I'm just a girl. I think they have a valid point.
I think I never even thought of it before, but I can understand where they're getting at. Especially when it comes to, like, when you move past, like, originally I feel like it started with treats, like, oh, I'm just going to get myself a fun, silly little treat, but now I can see, like, people are like, oh, I'm just this girl, I spent $500 at Ulta the other day, and I'm like, oh, okay. We're different girls here. I can see the consumerism.
We're different girls here. Because a lot of it's like we're getting a silly little tree. Of course, I'm just a girl. I'm gonna go thrifting. I'm just a girl. I'm gonna do. And it's like, I get it, and I think at some point if we do call ourselves just a girl, and then like put ourselves all in this like one box of like what it looks like to be a girl sometimes, like maybe men feel okay like going back and stereotyping like they're just silly little treat girls. And so I understand where they're coming from. I guess I'm more pro I'm Just a Girl because I think more funny things come from it. I think more community comes from it. But I also feel like, I don't know.
I can understand the perspective, but I feel like there is going to always be a negative to something. Yeah,
right. We're so philosophical.
We're so on top of it.
Oh, wait, did you finish your story about your English class?
Did I?
I don't know, but I think maybe.
We'll say we did.
They
can figure out the rest.
No, connect the dots for English class, it's fine. But yeah, talk about the bell jar. There we go. Now we've concluded it.
Except for Jack Williams.
Jack
Williams can speak on the bell jar.
Jack Williams, shout out. But okay, I want to talk about female rage movies before we move on to Girl Code. Midsummer, I said that. I love that movie. I feel like it's so good. And I really like Hereditary too. I feel like that's a different kind of female rage. It's the same director.
Like the A24 or whatever?
Yeah, and like it's Ari Aster, and like Toni Collette has a really good scene where she just like yells about being a mom for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But and then Pearl. Have you seen that?
I've seen, you know how on TikTok, they have the one TikTok accounts that have the clips, so you just scroll.
You sound like my roommate. My best friend and my roommate, she's so funny. She'll be like, yeah, I've seen that movie. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, this part. She's like, well, I saw the clips on Instagram Reels. I'm like, that's not watching the movie.
Released. No, I just watch everything through the clips now at this point.
That's valid.
So I've seen quite a bit of it, but I'm not sure I've seen all of it.
It's just so good. I just like I love an actress that can like yell and like she just like and I feel like Mia Goth wasn't in very much before this other than X, which is the other one.
Yeah.
And I liked X, but Pearl just goes crazy. It's like I feel like I'm stuck on a farm right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm a star. I'm a star. Sorry. Now I know that God, the camera's on. I'm like, I can't give my little acting performances anymore without looking a little dumb. But
it's all right.
It's gonna take an adjustment period. It's fine. But Gone Girl.
Explain Gone Girl to me.
What?
I've never seen it.
What? Oh my gosh, Gone Girl is so good. Okay, so first, I don't want to give out. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you should just go watch the movie because I'm not gonna put a spoiler alert. Like it's like from 2014. Like let's get it together. And I mean that disrespectfully, Gabby.
I actually saw it last night.
This could be like your next class in female rageology. But Gone Girl isn't. I hate saying this right after I say like female rageology. It's an Aaron Sorkin. It's an Aaron Sorkin piece. It's Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike.
Wait, is this the one where the like wife disappears or something?
Yes.
Oh.
So she disappears.
Okay.
Can I spoiler alert?
Yeah, spoiler
alert. She frames him because he cheated on her.
Oh.
And like for murder. And she was I'm gonna put you behind bars and like I'm gonna disappear off the face of the earth because you cheated on me with like a college age person.
Oh.
And like, you know what? Me freaking too. I would also do that. Well, okay, one time, this is really crazy.
Okay.
You're gonna learn a lot about me and my mom. So this is me and my mom's like one of my favorite movies. It's on my top 5 list, and I've made her a big fan of it. Because obviously, Apple Tree, both crazy. I was sitting there with my ex-boyfriend. Well, not at the time. We were sitting on the couch with my ex-boyfriend. We were watching this movie, which is already a strange situation that my mom is watching Gone Girl with me and my boyfriend. But it was fun. And she just looks over at him and she goes, "Isn't it crazy that Liz is this smart to pull this off?" And then turns back to the TV. And then doesn't say anything else. And he was just like, "What?
Can I say I love your mom?"
I know. Like, how cool is that? She literally just gave a warning in the middle of nowhere and then just goes, Like, "Oh, if you ever heard her, by the way." And I was just like, "Mom." And like, and we'd been dating for a while, so it's not like it wasn't like a scare off sort of situation. But I imagine he was shaking his boots. Like, isn't it crazy that she could totally do that? Back to the movie.
The thought process
Crazy
that had to
person.
bring her there is phenomenal.
I know. Like, she's just,
Like-
like, sitting on the couch, like, I know what to say to her boyfriend right now. Something that can never be unsaid. Like, but yeah, you would love this movie.
Okay.
It's so great.
Uh-huh.
Emily Ratajkowski is in it. Talk about female rage. She slays.
Okay.
Because she had that whole thing with, like, Robin Thicke. She was in the music video.
Yeah.
And she, like, stood up for herself. She
Yeah.
was awesome. But yeah, Rosamund Pike is, like, the coolest, hottest ever. Ben Affleck, I love him. But like he's kind of like a bit of an a-hole.
Okay.
I just remembered where I was. I'm in the podcast room. I can't curse. But yeah, he's the worst, and you like want to hate him so bad. So I recommend. I didn't know that you hadn't watched it.
I hadn't, but
I just assumed that every crazy girl had gotten her paws all over it. Like
I'm gonna get my paws on it tonight.
Okay, perfect.
It's like a learning experience.
It's
right
a learning,
now.
and text me afterwards.
I will. I'm
Okay,
just
amazing.
learning female rage from you.
Aw, that's sweet. female rage professor. And then Promising Young Woman. Have you seen that?
Okay, I've seen that a few years ago, I think.
Oh yeah, that one's good
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
That one I don't really have that much to say about it, other than like it slays. Same director as Saltburn. For Saltburn fans.
Okay.
Out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Is there that many even fans of Houselights that I'm talking to right now? Be for real. No, we're gonna. This brand new life that video has given us, we're gonna grow. Our engagement is gonna go through the roof. You're not even ready.
We're gonna be number one podcast.
Number one podcast of all time.
Amen.
Screw the Joe Rogan experience. Houselights, baby.
Houselights, baby.
Houselights, baby. And then I wanted to talk about femcel. Not that. I was looking at my notes. I want to talk about female rage music, and then I wanted to say I recently created a femcel rage playlist. Which is just like, I swear I'm not. Like, I'm not.
Okay.
But like, I did like Rosamund Pike from Gone Girl is on the cover of of the playlist. Like, it's fine. But I think that Lana Del Rey is like number one, just because she's got that like aesthetic that like she might snap.
I really think for me, Penelope Scott.
I know. I was wondering. Okay, I'm so glad that you said that, because I put it on my list and I wasn't sure if you knew Penelope Scott, because there's some people that they're like
I love her.
We need to go to her concert when she comes into town, because she just released so much music. So if she doesn't go on tour soon, I'm literally gonna lose it.
I learned that she released new music from your Snapchat.
Oh my gosh!
saw you
Vlogmas Day 2.
I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go look at it, and then I started.
So good.
She's so good.
And like, I was obsessed for like years with that one album. I can't remember. Public Void 2.0 is just one of my favorite albums of all time. It's literally like 6 or 7 songs.
Yeah.
So like, I've really been like fiending for new music from her, and now she just put out so many. Like, she put out 3 albums like at a time, pretty much.
She's so. I love. Okay, I listened to the new albums, but I
should
still
have known
love.
that you would.
Absolutely, I would. Are you
Absolutely,
kidding?
she would.
The outfit's just a facade. I love Penelope Scott. I loved. Okay, Sweet Hibiscus Tea was great. But
obviously, that's like number 1.
That's it. It's just because that was like the one that I found her through, so I have to keep that one.
Well,
number one.
I found her on TikTok, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody else did, like in 2020, 2021, like time.
Yeah.
And I feel like TikTok didn't ruin her, which is like really like unique.
You gotta be
for
a
an artist.
strong artist to
Yes.
not get ruined by TikTok.
Right, because like that song like Rat, that's like kind of about like Elon Musk, like kind of
such a good
it's
one.
such a good one. That was on one of my favorite YouTube groups, Hive Mind. They have this worst songs bracket of all time, and that was on there. And I was surprised, because I was like, they were like, oh, it's just like a TikTokified. And I'm like, not for you, males. It's not for you. That's why you don't get it. Because you're not crazy.
Yeah, they don't like. It's like. Okay, it's obviously different situations, but it's like how Bob Dylan back in the day, everybody was like, oh my gosh, he's like, wow, what a loony bin. That's Penelope Scott nowadays.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna be like revering her one day.
In the future, she's gonna be like put on a pedestal. They got a statue in her honor.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Talking about Elon Musk, Grimes is also on my female rage playlist. Which, it sucks that, like, she's... It sucks that, like, her second persona is, like, married to Elon Musk. And, like, mess up because, like, she also, like, makes really good music.
Yeah.
And, like, slays. And, like...
I haven't listened to her as much, but I've listened to a few songs, and she does, sort of kill it. Like, she does,
like, sort of kill it.
She does, like, hate to say it, love to say it. She's great, like...
Well, and, like, also, like, I put on Mitski on there, because everybody loves Mitski. It's my favorite sad girl music.
Mitski, I feel, is being ruined for me.
What?
Because, like,
Explain.
Okay, it's like, this one it's men, quite frankly, are ruining it for me. Because it's the artist that the men pick to try and get with they'll be like, oh, I love Mitski. Oh my gosh, you love Mitski.
Oh yeah, like, oh no, I dropped my Mitski album. I'm 6'1", by the way.
I'm like, please.
They're like, I was about to sing. I was like, my love is mine, all mine. Like, that's like them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me at Landshark trivia night. Not trivia night, karaoke night. That's me.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm so excited for that. We don't even know if that's happening. We're so excited for that, though.
But no, I feel like men are, like, ruining, like, Mitski, and there are a few others I can't think of.
Phoebe Bridgers. Don't touch her.
Boy Genius. They're
Boy
ruining
Genius.
Boy Genius for me.
Why, though?
It's
Explain why.
Like, okay.
Like, it's just not for you?
No, I love the music. Like, I listened to Mitski for a long time. And then...
Who doesn't?
Exactly. And then I got to college, and, like, it was, like, almost as if men only view women as music in a way. Like, they would, like, that's the main thing they're picking up on from me. They look at me and they're like, oh, I bet she likes Mitski. Hey, I love Mitski. And I'm like, I have so much more quality to me than just, like, why are you ruining the entire
Mitski,
point?
though. We were, oh my gosh. So, the Lantern Bar, talking about that, has, like, themed nights.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend... And I was like, I was just messing with her, and I thought that she'd know it was a joke. I was like, hey, Lana Del Rey night at like at the Lantern. She's like, wait, really? I'm like, no, babe, that'd be the saddest bar of all time. Like, they would never do that. Why would you ever think that? Like, that would never happen. But, oh, and then one more thing. And one more thing, talking about men ruining music. My other ex, like my first like ever ex, posted a Penelope Scott quote on his ex, formerly known as Twitter. And I was like, what? That's not for you. That's not for you.
No.
Don't touch that.
One time,
I know that he knows that I listen to Penelope Scott. I know you know that.
one time I had a man send me it was a Mitski song. I forget which one, but it was like the most popular Mitski
like,
song ever.
Sad girl.
He was like, you should listen to this. And I was like, babe, you just sent me.
I already did. 17 times tonight.
Like, I've listened to that over and over.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on some new stuff. Like, here's a Mitski song. It's pretty underground. Maybe you don't know it. Like,
probably never heard of her, honestly.
You probably never heard of her. Like,
what?
Have you ever heard of, like, Boy Genius? I'm sure you've never heard of that, but... I love you. we're like podcasting around. I'm like, I love talking with you, bro.
I love talking to you too.
This is a normal conversation that we have over at regional desks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like man hating and like talking about music.
Not
like,
anymore. You abandoned us.
Well, I am moving up the ranks, but
you are moving up the ranks.
Stop. Wait, no, it's fine. Like it's chill. Like we don't have to talk about it. One more thing before we get into and this, I feel like girl code is like a separate version of female rage because it's like when girl code is violated, that's like, like that's like a different kind of hurt. Yeah, you know, because I feel like you wouldn't expect it from another girl because you know girl code. And so that's like a different kind of female rage. What is your definition of it? Because I think that's other people have different definitions.
Okay, see, for me, because I was thinking about that when I was like looking through the list and everything. And I was like, originally, you know, the first thought that comes to mind is like don't hook up with, you know, guy in a relationship or like, you know, best friend's ex or whatever, that sort of thing.
Right.
But then I got more into it as I was thinking and I was like, well, I feel like girl code's also like, if you see a girl, like, at the bar who looks too drunk, or if you, like, that kind... Like, I feel like it's just,
and I feel like that's honestly not more important, because I think they're different importance, but I feel like that's, like, the more dire one.
It's, like, the more imperative thing to get. But I feel like girl code is just, like, it's not just about friendship. It's truly about being a girl and recognizing the adversities that women face and recognizing how to help a woman with those adversities in the moment.
Absolutely. And just, like, having, I guess, like, because obviously I think all women have empathy for, like, other women, but it's, like, showing it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's more important.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. It's just interesting. I was like, why is it important in our society? Like, I don't know. I was just thinking about it the other day. It's the sex, gender, and sexuality class that's really got me thinking. And it's like, and obviously, like, I have these thoughts all the time, but, like, I never get to share them, and now I'm like, well, Houselights is mine. I can just yap on Houselights about anything that I want. So give me girl code.
We're doing it.
Do you think, are we missing it in our culture today, or do you think that it's grown?
I feel like... Okay, you gotta think my historical basis here is historical TV shows.
Oh.
And that's it. That's all I got for, like...
I'd love to hear your thesis.
That's all I got for female society. But based off of those, you know, pretty inaccurate TV shows, I would feel like we've grown. Like, I feel like...
What TV shows are we talking about? I'm sorry. I'm lost. I thought you would explain.
I just didn't. Like, okay, Bridgerton.
Okay.
Have you ever watched The Great on Hulu?
No, but isn't that with what's her name? Like, with the Fanning?
Yeah, Ellie Fanning. Yes, it's about Catherine the Great, and it gets into, like, girlhood and girl code so much.
Love that.
And, like, then there's, like, you know, other one, like Anne with an E. Based
love
on Anne with an E.
They should have never canceled
it. I love that show. But, like, historical pieces like that, when I watch them, I feel like nowadays, especially social media, it's definitely had negative consequences on girlhood, but I feel like it's made it more connected because we can just yap on TikTok about whatever, and then girls can comment and be like, I thought I was the only one who had this thought.
I love that. I love that aspect of it. It's just like... And, like, social media bad, right? That's what my, like, sex, gender, and sexuality class would say. Like, social media bad. But actually, social media good.
Yeah.
Like, I just, you know, it's definitely connected us with people that we never thought that, you know, would have the same problems. And I'm like, repost. Like, how easy is that? You know, just the simple thing of, like, oh, another girl likes it, another girl sees me, another girl hears me. And it's like, wow. Amazing.
I feel like it's just, like, social media, especially TikTok, because it's so easy to just, like, record a video of yourself and then just post it because you're not having to say it in front of someone. It makes it so much easier to open up. Yeah. And I feel like it's opened so much dialogue for women as a whole to just talk about, like, different conversations on, like, sexuality or just being a girl and, like, so on and so forth, you know?
Yeah, and does it open up to oversharing? Yes.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah. But, like, if if you overshare consistently, you are raring to hit a homer, if you would, you know, get people to, you know, be like, yes, I see you, I understand that. Yeah. So, like, just keep oversharing on the internet enough. Yeah. And then maybe one day someone will be like, same girl, and you'll be like, for real.
Yeah, exactly. That sums it up.
But yeah, I feel like that sums up our conversation. Any final thoughts on girlhood, Gabi, that you want to posit for the group?
No, I can't think of any. I think at the end of the day, I'm just a girl.
I think we're just girls. Wow. And that's what we like to call in the biz a callback. So, well, have a great rest of your day, Gabi. I will see you guys next week. I don't know what I'm doing next week. We'll have to find out. Bye-bye.